So, anything interesting? The big fish. Let's start from the big fish. Can you see any change in the lithology?
Yeah, finer on top.
Forget about it. Can you see any change in the lithology? Huge change, different stuff. There is almost no mud in there. There is almost no sand in there. Let's go.
Transgression.
That's
Yes. Do not upload all this stuff. Don't make me lose myself. So there is a big change in the lithology. And it is not just one bed. If it was one bed, alright, it was the suspended load of something. It could have a lot of suspended load and accumulated a thick mudstone layer, a thick mudstone bed. Okay, that's good. But this is 100 meters. So, it's not just flow. There is a change in the depositional environment over there. We go from low energy to high energy.
Other way around.
No, I'm just saying. What do you do?
High energy to low.
Okay. Why? Why? Okay, from high energy to low energy. What is this?
Sure face.
100 times. It's so okay. This is something deeper. Actually, this is very deeper. Deeper. Not deep marine, but is the deeper parts of the continental shelf. It is below 100 meters of water depth.
Below the fair weather.
This stuff. It could be the inner part of the shelf as well, below this muddy unit. But the inner part of the shelf contains sandstone and mudstone beds that progressively fine upward until the deeper part of the shelf. In this case, the change is quite abrupt. This surface, and always when we have sandstone, but not a layer, but representing a unit, a depositional environment, and then mud, representing a different depositional environment, okay? This lithologic boundary, okay, it is a flooding surface. Mean marks an abrupt change in the water depth. And what's going on? When the water depth goes from 20 to 100 meters, okay, so inland, if you go from here to here, all this area was exposed and now it's not. So all the material is trapped further on land. So the deeper parts during transgression, during relative sea level rise, lack of sediment, because all the sediment stays on land during transgression. During regression, the sediment goes offshore. During transgression, it is trapped, and offshore, like mud. You have no sediment. That's the explanation. That's the story.
So this is transgression of this
Where we put the beginning of transgression? Where did we put it?
At the leg.
So the transgression started just above the fluvial rocks. Anything above these rocks until here is all transgressive. All. Okay? The beginning of the transgression is the maximum regressive surface. The transgressive lav is the Rav-Ineman surface. It is a within trend stratigraphic surface. It is within the transgression. Okay? This is another surface within the transgression, the within trend flooding surface. Again, within transgression, all this stuff. So we need to put somewhere the end of transgression. Somewhere we have an end of it. we're gonna see tomorrow. So, regarding the depositional environment, we go from fluvial rocks to deep shelf. The basin becomes shallower or deeper.
Deep.
Who says shallow? If we go from fluvial rocks to deep shelf, from non-marine rocks to 100 meters of water depth. So the basin deepens. Does this happen during transgression only? Fluvial rocks are transgressive. The beginning of transgression is at the top of the fluvial rocks. So the beginning of this deepening upward bloody thing starts with regression. The beginning of transgression at the top of the fluvial. From that place up to the top of this unit, this is a transgression. Is this related with finding upward trend? This is the evidence, not the water depth. It happens here, the transgression above the fluvial rocks be related to deepening upward. It's not always that. The evidence is the lithologic change from sand to this, with different depositional environments. If you pick up the finding upward sequence, this is transgression. Deepen, okay, doesn't matter. So good. It could shallow. It could shallow during transgression. There's no wrong with that. So good, relax. Question. I just said the story. Question. You should spend time just looking at the rocks. Clasts. Okay? They are at the top of the sandstone or at the base of the mudstone. Okay? These clasts, we call them rip down clasts. They come from the overlying unit, and this is because of liquefaction. It's like convolute failing, the process is the same. The change from solid to semi-solid material extracts the overlying mudstone. Okay? And rips down clasts. If you take a closer look, you will see, and this is compelling evidence, and it is compelling evidence that we are talking about ripped down clasts. Many of them are still attached to the overlying mud. Look at the rocks. Many of them. Many of them. Over there. They are still attached. That is a good start. Okay. What about the sedimentary structure? Can we identify it large scale? We should be able to identify something.
There's cross-bedding.
Cross-bedding? Do we agree? Look at the rock over there. What sedimentary structure? We said that we are within the fluvial system. So these are fluvial rocks. That's what we say. Let's find it out. Let's see if we are wrong or right.
It's too big.
Okay?
Too big.
So regarding the
Herringbone's up to a metre. And if you have a look, they're parallel below it. It's only the top ones that cut across. So it's cross-bedding, I reckon.
non-parallel alignment of sand. Non-parallel, non-horizontal. If it was horizontal, it should be parallel like this. Okay? So, this is not parallel like this. What is this?
across.
Okay. Okay, slow. Slow. So let's start that we can see some crossbeds. Can we? Okay. The crossbeds point to what direction? To the ocean or to the other direction? The bottom layer. Let's start with the bottom. The bottom layer, the bottom unit of crossbed with sandstone points to the ocean or inland? Inland? The lower unit. Come on. Most of the beds point to the cave. Over there. Most of the beds. Okay? Alright. But we can also see crossbeds pointing to the other direction, can't we? Can we all see them? The upper levels, they point. Yes, like that. It's like this. So, bimodal cross-bedding, what's the sedimentary structure that describes this bimodal cross-stratification?
Tidal.
The herringbone cross-stratification. The herringbone, bimodal, at opposite direction. Did you remember that? Okay. And if we have bimodal cross-bedding, it's a good evidence of what process?
Tide influence.
Tide influence. So that means that the fluvial rocks are not pure fluvial rocks. Not the tide.
No. Estuary.
We can call them river mouth. It is when the rivers enter into the sea. Okay, at that point, at the point that they are entering into the sea, they are affected also by what we call massinal processes that come from the sea, which are the wave actions, the storm events, the tide influence. Okay, so all these processes can produce sedimentary structure towards the other direction, tide, for example. So if we see bimodal or herringbone cross-stratification, it is a good evidence of the tidally influenced depositional environment. It can be a fluvial system that enters into the sea. It can also be a continental slope, a deeper depositional environment, marine at this time, that it is affected by tides, can produce the same structure. So, just from one bipolar or herringbone crossbed, we cannot really tell what's the depositional environment. All we can say is that this environment is affected by tides. And then we should look around. These are not marine rocks, we know that. So it is a tidal influenced fluvial system. It could be the river mouth. Makes sense? If this is a herringbone crossbed. Do we all think it is? Who disagrees? Why? You don't know. You just know it.
It's too big.
Because I said it. Eh? So it is a very tricky example. A very tricky example. This is not a herringbone cross-stratification. Yes, but you all agree.